Retribution is coming around. You made it personal. I'm gonna make it painful.
It's Takamania.
I get to go one-on-one with Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell.
You cannot wait to hurt Sam. Let me in.
Of this women's division, and I am the one that is challenging you at Hell in a Cell, bitch.
The man, the boss, the self, retribution is coming around. You made it personal. I'm gonna make it painful.
It's Takamania.
I get to go one-on-one with Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell.
You cannot wait to hurt Sam. Let me in.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episodic adventure. It is Takamania. I am your co-host, Dez, here with J-Bomb, the Boozerweight himself, and it is post After Dark, Hell in a Cell. How's it going, buddy?
Not too bad. I'm just screwing around with some shit on YouTube. I have no idea if this is going to go well. This is my last effort. Honestly, it's my last
Until
effort
the next effort.
at video. Oh, I swear to God, podcasting is one thing. Audio is one thing. Video is a different beast, man. I'm really thinking I got to upgrade some hardware. And that's expensive.
I know, it is pricey. You are coming in a little bit delayed on my screen, too. That's why I kind of came in on late on the end. You think you gave me the signal, but you only gave me the signal later on my screen.
Oh, well, the audio is what matters, and if you are listening to this, you are a Patreon exclusive premium member.
Patreon dance.
So, Danny Pond, what is up? You are now Talkmania's best friend. Thank you very much for supporting the show like this. Evan Gomez and Smart to Death, if you were listening to this, what is up? Those are our Patrons right now. So, this is for you. This is the post-Hell in a Cell discussion. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the main event because that seems to be what is going nuts on Twitter right now.
Everybody is hanging themselves, burning down the internet, and just slandering the WWE. I didn't know they'd hate it as much as they did. I know it was different. They went a wholly different direction. It seemed brand new to me. But I don't know. I don't know. The DQ didn't make sense because it's a Hell in a Cell match. Why would you have a disqualification? I guess they thought that he was going to murder him, and they decided to make an audible. But I don't know. Look, I mean, people are saying that Bray Wyatt walked out looking weak and they ruined his character. Do you agree?
No, he looked absolutely
incredibly
strong. I think Seth Rollins,
Gets
his
hurt
character is
more than
ruined.
anything.
He's fucked. That curb stomp, finished. That move is crap. I mean, between that and everything he did with Brock Lesnar, it's over. It's finished. There's no comeback.
I thought when he curb stomped him on the big giant mallet, when he pulled out that big mallet, I was like, holy shit, this is like evil like fucking cartoon where he's just gonna go shabrank. But yeah, when he curb stomped him, I was like, okay, well maybe that's gonna lead to the end. But he like could have shot the guy in the head. He would have kicked out at 1. It seemed like to me. So that was a little intense, a little extreme. But I guess they want to create a new character who can kick out at anything, and you really have to just destroy him. I don't know like what's gonna take to beat this guy. And I think the fans were so high on this guy. Like I didn't know they were so hard for Bray Wyatt and the Fiend. Like they wanted him to win this match. You saw them booing and booing when it looked like he was gonna win cleanly. Or after a few curb stomps, they were booing the shit out of him. And then as it went on, they were booing and booing and booing. Like, I don't know. It was something different. It was dark, man. People are going to be talking about this match for years to come. It was very unique. And then, look, at the end, he didn't end up beating the Fiend. The Fiend didn't get pinned. He's still up. He puts the mandible claw on Seth, and he starts bleeding out of the mouth. Like, fuck, man. It was pretty messed up, man, the whole main event.
Okay. It was what they did was well done. There's a few things about it that I think really are going to negatively affect Hell in a Cell matches forever going forward. Like the fact that there was a DQ or a stoppage in the match. First of all, I called it. I knew there was going to be a no finish to this thing. There had to be. It's the only thing that made sense. Well, it didn't make to protect the Fiend. It needed to happen, but it shouldn't have been a Hell in a Cell match then. Because Hell in a Cell is supposed to be hell in a cell. Like, Mankind literally got thrown off the cage and then
That's true.
chokeslammed through the cage, and they didn't stop it. And I know a sledgehammer to the head. Too. I know the sledgehammer to the head is next level, but that's kind of what the whole match is about. Right?
That's it. You know, right? You want to put your opponent down. Nothing is going to stop you. It's hell in the cell. And I don't know if they're going to play into him, like, you know, reaching into his demons to take out Bray Wyatt, and maybe it'll turn to an eventual heel turn, which awesome. That's the one thing maybe I'll take out of it to being promising. But I don't know. I guess they wanted Bray Wyatt to be their champion. He's on this hot streak momentum, but it's funny, like, they didn't get what they want. Sometimes there's that journey. It didn't work out tonight, but look, man, I imagine Bray will win the championship in the near future, and everyone will be happy. But when they didn't get their way tonight, they really had let the WWE have it, and they were booing and they were chanting AEW, which I find is disrespectful. I mean, I get it; it's gonna happen, but like, okay, then go. Why did you come here? Go watch AEW. Like, I don't know. It was new. It was different. It wasn't something that I ultimately hated like that bad, and I was very surprised to see the internet burning down.
Good pun. I think the thing is I don't think they really want Bray to win the Universal title champion more than they don't want him to lose a match. Like, if you're going to have Seth Rollins beat Bray Wyatt, I think that's what they were booing. And when it comes to the AEW chant, I think it's the only way the fans know how to get it across that they're ultimately disappointed and feel ripped off and pissed off. That's their go-to. So,
but they didn't even see the ending yet because he didn't lose, right? Like, he just literally tried to kill him, and he still got up and gave, like, that was pretty badass.
Yeah, but once the bell rang, that's when the AEW chant got super hard. They were chanting "restart the match," and like, it was so loud, like the whole building was pissed.
Yeah,
I think having a stoppage in a Hell in a Cell match ruins Hell in a Cell for eternity. That's my.
It's really bad, but they're probably trying to make it look like, I know, but it was that bad. It was that destructive.
Look,
it was that hardcore that we literally had to stop a Hell in a Cell match, which is bullshit. It's a cop-out, right? I get it. But
Mick Foley. Okay, and they talked about Mick Foley. Jerry Lawler talked about Mick Foley a million times during that match.
They do it every match.
I know. Well, there you go. He was thrown off of a fucking cell for real. Like, for fucking real. Now, I think what would have been cool is if Bray Wyatt had a couple blood capsules in his mouth or some sort of pouch on his face that once the rubble came off of him, he should have been in a pool of blood. I think that would have been a lot cooler. But I'm not so pissed off with the story that's being told. The thing that bothers me is that they stopped the Hell in a Cell match. I think that's weak. And did you see the text message I sent you?
Stating what specifically?
The poll from WWE that said win, loss, DQ.
Yeah.
That's a little bit shitty, and that's been on there for like a week. Actually, Warren Hayes tweeted that out like a long time ago. He retweeted it tonight So
I
good on him.
wonder if they were like putting that out there so the fans wouldn't be as disappointed, right? They'd be like, "Well, it could happen."
Dude, if you read the
like-
comments like a week ago, they were like, "What the fuck? It's gonna be a no finish. How is this? What the hell? What's going on? How can there be a DQ?" From a storytelling perspective, I think that when the payoff comes, this is gonna look really fucking good in a video.
Yeah,
package.
that's it too. So I kind of feel like people should just chill the fuck out and let the story progress and see what happens. It was dark. It was different. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not salty.
Yeah,
so to speak.
me neither. There were moments in it where like we were at Survivor Series at the Montreal Screwjob. We were kids, but we sat through Kane versus Mankind with that Kenny.
Kane used to wrestle in the red for
Yeah.
a while when he first started out.
It's not so bad on TV. When you're there, you cannot see.
Yeah, it wasn't great when I was there. I
Yeah,
remember that.
so that I was a little bit disappointed with, but as my eyes got used to it, I realized it actually was a really cool effect. I just feel like it wasn't a pro wrestling match. It wasn't even like WWE quality pro wrestling match. It was a spectacle. And once my mind could ease into that, I was okay with it. And the story that was told was pretty good. And I think we saw some character development of Seth Rollins. And The Fiend came out of there looking super strong.
What happens next? Is he challenged for the title again at the next pay-per-view?
I feel like the title needs to be an afterthought. We need some unsanctioned shit. We need to elevate past that. That can't be the peak of the mountain. It can't go downhill from here. The payoff needs to be bigger. Seth Rollins needs to pay the ultimate price.
I think also, like, I understand him being like indestructible and kicking out at one and stuff, but kind of feel like it's a little bit too much, like he went like,
No, I like that.
yeah, that much.
It's the equivalent of the Undertaker when he would sit up.
Like pedigree, stomp, sledgehammer, chair, one. It's like, oh, come on, man.
I
like,
don't.
what's finally gonna put him? What's finally gonna make him lose? Like in a year from now, and then he'll like, until like at the tail end of his career, he'll start like jobbing out like quick roll-ups and stuff.
I don't know. The Undertaker never really did. The Undertaker
Maybe.
was able to sustain it. I'm not going to compare The Fiend to The Undertaker. I don't see this being a long-term character because I don't know if
of course they could definitely make it a long-term.
they
character.
could, but I could see the efforts of WWE and the fan base. I don't think that a shtick will stick like it used to. I feel like the fans will either turn on it or WWE will
They're
get
fickle?
complacent. Yeah, they're fickle. But either way, I get why people could be not taking it well, but I think people need to chill out because it was actually really good if you think about it.
Yeah, it was. I thought it wasn't as bad as people say it is. All right. Now I want to talk about another match that was very good and possibly the match of the night. Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, opening up Hell in a Cell pay-per-view in the Hell in a Cell. These guys put on a banger, man. Great match.
I would say it's definite match of the night for me, 1,000%. One, I called it between me and you. I think you won the prediction war, though, eh?
Sure, why not?
I think you did. But I put money on Becky Lynch, and I came out on top, and I feel pretty good about that. I honestly thought it was Sasha Banks' best match in the WWE. Best match since NXT TakeOver.
It might have been one of her ones. Even the Meteoros were really
All
nice.
three of them were good. It's like they have really good ring chemistry, and I think she would land with like the I don't know what part of your foot it is. I guess that where your foot meets your ankle instead of landing where the knees are, like in the vagina. So she was able to like make her knees kind of go through Becky's head. So it looked good. The one on the ladder was really good, and I thought they were innovative.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, I thought it was good overall. They did a lot of cool things in the ring, lots of spots, took a lot of risks, a bit of innovation with the kendo sticks and the chair in the corner. The drop kick was nice. And I don't know, man. It was all around pretty cool of a match. The superplex off the top rope into the chairs. When she was throwing those all into the ring, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see a little bit of blood, but that's just the ruthlessness in me.
I was
wanted
hoping
this
for
to-
blood when Sasha took
I
the
wanted
chair.
to be an all-out war, and it was an all-out war. And ultimately, she got her to tap out the disarmer in the ring. But these women, I gotta give them a lot of respect, a lot of props. A hell of a match, and I really like the way that Sasha left the ring at the end.
I agree.
And was on the ramp, kind of looking, and I don't know, she's disappointed and frustrated, and I don't know what's next for her, but I imagine she'll get there. She'll get to the end of her journey. She'll get that title, I imagine. But it was a great match nonetheless. So very good way to open up Hell in a Cell.
Very, very good way to open up Hell in a Cell. I think that the Sasha camera shot at the end went over so well. They tried to do it again during the Bayley match, and it was just
oh my God, yeah.
horribly awkward because Bayley is. I think
It was
Bayley's
interesting though. It was interesting. So first of all, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks had the longest match of the night.
Yeah,
21 minutes and 50 seconds.
beautiful.
Not even close to any other match other than the Hell in a Cell main event, which doesn't even have a time listed because of it was a disqualification. But yes, they did something similar at the end with Bayley and Charlotte. And yeah, I called it. Charlotte did win the championship again. She's the one who they've chosen to just boost up to be like the greatest of all time. I think they're like,
Well, yeah.
okay, we are making Charlotte the greatest of all time.
She's
That
the
is our
greatest
mission.
female wrestler in WWE of all time, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you were to put pure wrestling in there, I know I'm being biased saying Asuka,
Yeah.
but like if you're putting the two of them against each other and like pure wrestling and
Yeah,
like,
I'm saying like full package.
yeah, I guess full package because she can't
Asuka's
cut a promo.
NXT, Charlotte is WWE.
But
That's
sure,
it.
Asuka is one of the best in the world, and
No,
so
I-
is Charlotte though. So
Okay,
is
but that's
Charlotte.
not what we're talking about. I'm saying in WWE, the runs that they've had, even though
Yeah,
it's
of
booked.
course, the runs they've had, but it's all writing, right? They gave her all those
Well, it's
championships.
booked, of course. That's what I mean. But she still stood up to the plate. I don't think even if Asuka was given that push, that it would have gone over as well, just because of the language
She's
gap.
not white.
The language gap. She's not going to be as relatable.
For sure, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, we're talking about well-rounded. Obviously, Asuka's very weak when it comes to promos in English.
Look, you can tell, and I will 1,000% agree with you, that Asuka in that Kabuki Warriors tag match, it was like her and Shinsuke Nakamura just decided, you know what, we're not going to kind of like, let's just embrace our roles and let's go. I found it was one of the, like, I haven't seen Asuka that good in the ring, that passionate. It seemed like she was really into this match.
Yeah, just seeing them together tonight was different because I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, well, who knows how this is going to go? Maybe it's just going to be face team versus a face team. But you clearly started to see early on that the Kabuki Warriors were kind of playing more than the heel side tonight. And I find the fact that they were being heels tonight, they were doing these little subtle things. And I think it helped Kairi Sane out a lot, too.
Kyrie
'Cause
was
usually
more heely than Asuka
Yeah,
was.
yeah. I find Asuka kind of like was Asuka, but she's always tough. She's always aggressive. She'll go in there and be like rough, you know, no matter if she's a face or a heel. But I find Kairi, instead of being all like hee hee and pretty, she did a lot of cool things. When she went to the corner and did her stomping, she kind of went over and like poked Nikki Cross in the eyes.
Yeah, that was
and
good.
did a lot of like little things here and there that was kind of heelish, and I think it worked really good for her character. And I'll agree. I think it's their best tag team match that they've had, the Kabuki Warriors that I've watched. Really good. Them having a heel team could really work. I think they need a proper intro. I think it's lazy. It's fine if you did that for the first week they were put together, but come on, put something together by now, you know? But I thought it was really cool. And I think the fact that we had lots of false finishes and then Asuka using the green mist, which is something that's traditionally used in Japanese wrestling a lot. And the fact that she kind of pulled that out was really cool. And she looked really cool at the end too, you know, kind of with it hanging out of her mouth. And she's just kind of like, I don't know. I liked it. You know, she definitely had an old gimmick back in Japan where she wore face paint and had, you know, food coloring coming out of her mouth all the time. And it was pretty badass. So it was kind of reminiscent of that. But super cool. We can have a celebration. We have the Kabuki Warriors as your tag team champions. It's so dope. So dope.
Yeah. The theme song is bad. It was exceptionally bad once they won that match. I feel like within whatever 10, 12, 15 minutes, whatever that match was, the Kabuki Warriors all of a sudden had an identity and it made sense. And then when their music played at the end, it was like, because it starts with Kairi Sane, and you're like, it's pretty happy. It's like very video game pirate level. Like, what the fuck is going on? And you got Asuka with the green hanging from her face, and it was like, do 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 do. I was like, no, they need something a little bit more dark. And they're very colorful and flashy. I think if they're gonna go forward as heels, they need that like Io Shirai turn to just be a little bit more
Like Dark Pirates.
just darken it up. And Asuka with some face paint, and the reveal of her face paint is going to be so good. She's going to wear a little bit of an oversized mask. She's gonna pull it off, and people are gonna go fucking crazy.
Okay, you're talking like this is gonna happen. This
Oh,
is
it's
breaking
dude,
news.
it is going to happen for sure. The
Oh
heel
my
turn tonight.
God.
That
I
was
would
it.
love it. I would love to see them do this, but they're not going to. They wouldn't put that much effort and time into this tag team. I love them, and you
Dude,
know
they
that,
gave him
obviously.
fucking time tonight.
Though the game, it's a 10-minute match. It was all right, I guess. But yeah, they did have a good match. But I would love to see that. I just don't see them putting in that effort. If they came out, they were wearing like black and red or just darker, like, you know, piratey gear or whatever they want to do, and she does have her face painted, I think it would be friggin' phenomenal. I would love it. I'd be super on board for this. I just don't see that happening, unfortunately.
I did see a post. I was searching through Twitter, and it was a rumor from, I don't know if it was a credible website, but it definitely wasn't one of those websites where you're like, oh yeah, it's that website, so you don't even read it. It was one of the, I think it was like WrestleTalk.com or something, saying that they're thinking about retiring the titles already after 8 months.
Oh my.
Yeah, you heard it here on Talkmania first.
Yeah, I
though.
think so. I think you
we
talked
talked
about
about
that
that a long
yourself.
time. I'm like, they're gonna give up on these things. It's funny because you can really see. I feel like you can tell from their entrance when they hand the referee the title. You kind of have a feeling that they're gonna lose it. And I'm not just saying Nikki Cross and Bliss. I really felt like Becky Lynch when she came out had a look on her face, and I don't know if she was trying to swerve us, but it looked like she was preparing to lose. And I noticed it on Nikki Cross as well, and I was like, I was very happy it didn't happen with Becky, obviously, but with Nikki, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're going to lose this. And even though I predicted them to win, in that moment, I was like, oh, fuck, Dez has this one.
My girls, man. My girls. I gave them some pointers when I met them in Toronto at SummerSlam, and that's it, man.
They still haven't used your move.
No, they haven't. The Oscar lock and the insane elbow driving down into the heart.
Pleasant surprise on the card. The Roman Reigns match was actually pretty good.
I don't know. It was one of my less enjoyable ones, but I wouldn't say it was a bad match. Just there's so much going on tonight that I guess it's more of an afterthought. But it was cool to see them together. I think they had good chemistry, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. And like I said earlier, Harper is the one who took the pin on that one.
Yeah. I just feel like I wasn't expecting it to be no DQ. And I guess tornado tags are no DQ, and I thought they were pretty innovative with that. We got your standard Bludgeon Brothers table double teams and all that kind of crap. But there were some false finishes, and that's pretty rare in these types of matches. And yeah, the ending was somewhat predictable, but it was still executed very well, I thought. And there was a little bit of a story after the match, and I thought for a match that was really the least, like I got up and started like emptying the dishwasher when that match came on. And then by the time I sat down, it was like maybe the last 5 or 6 minutes of it. And I was like, fuck, I think this was a better match than I was expecting. So
It was a better match than I was expecting as well, too. You know what? Honestly, Hell in a Cell wasn't too bad top to bottom.
it was for a pay-per-view that only had 3 or 4 announced matches on it. It was way better than the ones before it. I remember way better than Clash Champions.
Yeah. And, not too much to speak about it, but Randy Orton and Ali was even a treat. It wasn't too bad.
I
thought
really
those
liked the match.
Yeah, I thought they had good chemistry together. I thought Randy Orton, it's one of his better matches in quite some time. It looked like he cared. It looked like he tried to put some effort in and have a good match, and it showed. I don't know. Good job by both guys, man. Even like the escape out of the RKO and then getting nailed by it. The way he pinned him, just lifted his leg up. Like, I don't know, man. It's good, man.
I listen to Boot to Face all the time, and if you listen to Chris Rucker, he talks about Randy Orton and these little things he does in the ring. So when a Randy Orton match comes on, I do try and change my mind frame because if you're not into it and you're not paying attention to those things, he tends to look somewhat boring in the ring. Tonight, well, he was on Twitch, right? Right now, before he dropped some M-bombs, he was talking to somebody he was playing with, and I forget which wrestler they were talking about. It was a guy in AEW, and he was giving him props, and I forget who. I think it might have been Sammy Guevara.
Yeah,
And
he said he likes Sammy Guevara
yeah,
and want to wrestle him.
He was like, I really like what the kid is doing, and I would like to work with him. So when I saw Randy Orton come out, I was like, fuck, who's he facing? It's going to be garbage. And then I found out it was Ali. And I thought, well, Ali, Sammy Guevara, I mean, they're somewhat comparable in a sense. They're smaller, later guys. They're kind of the new style. So I was like, okay, are we going to get asshole Randy Orton that's going to back suplex this motherfucker on a table like the Singh brother?
Well, he
Or-
almost did at one point. He like suplexed it, like let go of him on his face around the table.
Or are we gonna get Randy Orton that's gonna, appreciate who he's in the ring with? And there was a few times at the end of the match where he said something to Ali after he pinned him, and he gave him a little slap on the ass when he pinned him as well. And he was kind of giving him like a nod, and I thought that was pretty cool. And
Sure.
there was little subtle things in the matches that were really cool. I know what you mean. He grabbed his toe to pin him, and I thought that was fucking. There was just something really cool about it, and I kind of was like,
well, he's really long and lanky, right? So he kind of lifted up for extra leverage.
yeah, Ali, his counter on the RKO
That's pretty
was
cool.
so nice.
I'm laughing here because you're talking about boot to the face and how they're like, look at the little subtle things Randy Orton does, and your big driver was he patted his ass.
No, but I noticed
like,
that
yeah, look at the little subtle things he does. Like, he pats his ass.
somebody else did that. I think it was on on Raw this week. It might have even been Randy Orton, but he pinned somebody, and when he was done, he gave him like a little, like, not on the ass, kind of on the thigh, like you'll get it, like your time is coming sort of thing. And I've always noticed that Randy Orton kind of has no respect for people that he thinks he's above. Like, he's kind of an arrogant prick. So I like this side of Randy Orton more.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he did have the respect there for Ali, and they, like I said, the guys put on a good match, and I didn't think we were going to spend too much time talking about it, but here we are. It must have been a good match, right?
Yeah, the thing with Ali is that I don't like him. Like, I don't like his whatever the hell his fucking gimmick is.
I'm a go hard.
Like, his entrance is cool, his thing is cool. I don't think he should have it on his glove. It should only be on the heart. I don't understand it. The mask is cool, but as soon as he gets in the ring and starts wrestling, this guy can fucking sell, man.
Yeah, yeah. He's innovative too. His flow is great. I
His
like
flow
him.
is so good. It's like his hair. He's got flowy hair. His hair's getting fucking long, man.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the match. What else do we have in the card? Was there anything else?
Look, we had Chad Gable finally picking up the win over King Corbin.
Yeah, I think Brad put me in a weird mood because I did housework during this match. I'm being Mr. Mom while my wife is away. So
Right, she's on a trip, right? I saw that
yeah.
on Facebook.
Well, she's working.
Oh, for work.
Yeah.
Work? I thought she got a new gig.
She is doing some freelance work, and she's picked up a couple gigs that are pretty lucrative, and they involve her going on cruises for a company, and it's for an American company actually, and they need people to be speaking French. So it worked out pretty well. It was through a contact with a company she used to work at. So I wasn't too thrilled about it. She wasn't too thrilled about it. But then when they were like, "Well, you're going to be on a cruise, and this is where you're getting paid," it was kind of a no-brainer. I was like, let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, so she leaves Sunday.
Interesting.
She's back Friday, so it's not like I have the kids all day because they're going to stay with my parents while I'm at work. So it worked out pretty well.
That's cool. Good news. And it's funny how things work out.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, Baron Corbin, Chad Gable. I talked Baron Corbin up on the pre-show, and then I ended up not wanting to watch his match. It's just because we've seen it so many times. It's like AJ and Cedric Alexander. I like their matches. I don't want to see it 5 times.
Well, that's it. But look, Gable picked up his match, his win. Then Corbin attacked him later on that night. So I have to think this feud's just going to continue forever.
I
What do
guess.
they have, like a you're my jester match? If he beats him, he becomes his jester. He's got to wear a little jester hat. I don't know where this is heading, but good to see him pick up the win either way. And this was actually a pretty decent match. It was decent. Gable looked good as always, but King Corbin could not pull it off.
No, it was a roll up in the end.
Some kind of roll up pinning combination.
Right on, right on. And is that it? Is that all the matches? Have we already discussed it all?
For the most part, yeah, I think so. I mean, we did hit on everything. I mean, we know that Natalya ended up beating Lacey with the sharpshooter.
there you go, yeah.
I gave her taste her own medicine with the women's right on Lacey, knocking her out cold. We did have the Viking Raiders who ended up tagging with Braun Strowman,
Yeah.
and they beat the OC. And AJ Styles was all loopy after the match because of the big right hand. They're trying to sell those punches by Braun Strowman because he will be taking on
Some
Fury.
boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is like that. Yeah, all right. So that match was shit. OC got disqualified, right? It was a weird ending. I'm pretty sure the OC got disqualified. I like
They
the
did.
sell.
They did. It was just
Yeah.
like 3-on-1 or something. The ref's like, get out. Okay, DQ.
I like the sell at the end by AJ. Tyson Fury, though, when Dolph Ziggler like hit the barricade that he was standing behind, and then Tyson Berry fell over. That whole storyline between Tyson Berry and what's his name? Braun Strowman kind of fell apart. This guy's a fucking world champion. This guy's a heavyweight boxing champion. Dolph Ziggler hit a guardrail. He didn't even hit the boxer. So if this guy's going to have a fight with Braun Strowman, it's going to be so fucking cringy, man. It's going to be
It probably
so-
will be cringy.
Yeah.
Is it
went
gonna be
back
a boxing match? Is it gonna be a boxing match? What's gonna
for
be?
sure going to have. It's going to be like Big Show versus Floyd Mayweather, when Floyd Mayweather had boxing gloves on, but at the end he took them off and knocked him out bare knuckle. It's not going to be
Yeah.
good.
Dude, it's gonna destroy Braun Strowman if he loses like that.
Yeah, and there's no way Tyson Berry's coming in to lose. I get what they're doing with Fox and with blending of the sports, but I would have been happy just with Cain Velasquez. I feel like the Tyson Berry thing's like, all right, relax here. A little too much. It
Well,
should have been Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But we do have Crown Jewel coming up. Look, Hell in a Cell was a big night, big week ahead of us. We have Raw tomorrow night. We have the Wednesday Night Wars again, AEW versus NXT. And you're going to have SmackDown Live as well, too. We have the draft starting as well, too, on Friday, SmackDown Live on Fox. And, yeah, it's some good shit, man.
Yeah, I don't really understand the 2 days of drafting. It's a little confusing to me. They should have done the whole thing on Friday on SmackDown, because they're obviously not just going to draft SmackDown superstars. Otherwise, it would just be a shakeup. So if they're going to,
You're also going to know who's kind of on the other show, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how they're going to end up doing it. But I guess they also want you to tune in twice, right?
Yeah, well, technically, should we? Anyways, I guess I gotta keep remembering that the hardcore fan is the minority, and the casual fan is what puts money in the pockets. And I think if we can absorb that, then we're okay. And we have to just cherish this time with AEW that we have, because if they don't start operating that way, they won't survive. So Wednesday, following NXT, following AEW. Hit us back up here, Talkmania. You know where it's at. We'll jump on at 10:10. These videos are getting undoable. We might switch back to audio for a bit until I get a new computer. We'll figure this shit out. I'll do some research this week, but I'm going to try and reboot my entire Mac. I feel like it's not clean. It's got a little bit of the STD.
They don't care. Just keep going.
What, with the video?
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, they want to hear wrestling. They don't want to hear about your computer problems. Or
I
your
tied it into
STDs.
it having an STD. That was the whole pun, or the whole joke.
You're a Burger King. They know that.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Hell in a Cell was a hell of a pay-per-view. I got nothing else to say. So,
It was a hell of a pay-per-view. Lots of big things happening. Becky Lynch walks out as still your champion, and Sasha Banks looks great. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns were able to pull together and be an awesome team. Randy Orton looked great against Ali. And look, the Kabuki Warriors are your tag team champions. Party Kabuki style. And Charlotte is your 1,000th time champion. What a night. And Bray Wyatt almost gets murdered, but then murders Seth Rollins. Hell in a Cell. Dig, dig, dig.
all right, Dez, I'm out of here, man. Say bye.
Have a happy Rusev Day, guys. Until next time. Peace.